The following is a presentation of Payoff Pitch Baseball. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to brand new Jacobs Field here in Cleveland, Ohio for tonight's game between the Kansas City Royals and the Cleveland Indians. This is the first game of the 1994 Payoff Pitch Pennant Race. The restart I now declare over. We're now in September, and this is when the Pennant Race begins to heat up. So now it's called the Pennant Race, and I'll be doing that every September for pretty much any season I do a replay or restart for. Today to September 1st, 1994, the Royals take on the Indians in the first game of a three-game set. We're, of course, doing game one here, and this game is gigantic as both these teams continue to try to run away in the American League Central. As you can see, the Indians, with a record of 79-51, 6 games ahead of Kansas City, but Kansas City trails the White Sox by 2 games. So anything can happen here as Kansas City is still trying to chase for getting that second spot in the division, which, of course, the top 2 teams in each division make the playoffs. We got a couple of interesting facts I have to get to, including specifically also how well the teams have done in the month of August for the start of the restart, but we will get to that a little later on. So I'm expecting the crowd here at Jacobs Field is packed. And, of course, this is 94. This is the first year that Jacobs Field opened. Still a beautiful stadium. And, of course, now here in 2020, the stadium is 26 years old. It's still gorgeous. Beautiful ballpark the Indians play in. I'm very proud they play in a park like that. It is gorgeous. It's well-seated. It's got a beautiful skyline in the background. It's just a gorgeous place to play baseball. It is packed. It's a sellout crowd here at Jacobs Field. The fans here know how important this big series with the Royals is. Cleveland still holding off the White Sox, and Kansas City still trying to get into the number 2 spot in the American League Central, plus lots of other action we will get to as well as we get further into the game. Without further ado, let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Kansas City Royals. Vince Coleman will be batting first. Brian McRae will bat second. Wally Joyner will bat third. Mike Mcfarland will bat 4th. Bob Hamelin, the designated hitter, will bat 5th. Gary Gaetti will be 6th. Felix Jose will bat 7th. Jose Lean will bat 8th. And Greg Gagne will be batting 9th. Defensively for the Indians, Paul Sereno is at first base. Carlos Baerga is at second. Jim Thome is at third. The shortstop is, of course, Omar Vizquel. The left fielder is Albert Bell. Center field, Kenny Lofton. Right fielder is Wayne Kirby. Behind the plate is Sandy Alomar. And on the mound for the Cleveland Indians today is Denny Martinez. He gets the call. He was 39 years old at this time in 94, and he was still pitching. 11 wins, 6 losses, a 3.52 ERA. Averages about 4.7 strikeouts, 2.2 walks, and about 0.7 homers per 9 innings. I'd like to let you know also that I'm also keeping track of the games that I play. Kansas City comes into this game a record of 72-61. Cleveland 79-51. However, in payoff pitch record, I am 3-1 with Kansas City and 1-0 with Cleveland, including a couple of big extra inning games with the Royals so far during the restart. But now it is time for the pennant race. So let's get things underway. The crowd's still settling in, but it's a full standing room only really for this series against the Royals. Big division rivalry. Let's get things underway. Leading off for the Royals will be Vince Coleman. Both pitchers are righties. Vince Coleman batted .231 with no homers against the righties in 94. Here we go, and this game is underway. And it starts with a 10. It's a tough. That is a 66. And that's a ground ball hit to second. Coming over for it will be Baerga. He has it. He throws to first, and there is 1 down. Ground ball to second, and the next batter here will be Brian McRae. McRae batted .259 with 3 homers against the righties in 94. Pitch on the way, 11. That's a ballpark, 31. He's batting from the left side. That is a definite wheelhouse. It is a 32, and Brian McRae is just going to get himself a simple base hit. He will be safe at first with a single as he hits this one into left field. It is picked up by Bell. He throws it in, and the Royals get a man on first. Nice single for McRae. McRae's steal rating is a 5B at 11 on the board. He will not run. Jacobs Field in 1994, neutral to about a hitter's park and a little bit of a minimal hitter's park. Wheelhouse 1 to 68 right-handed batter and 1 to 53 left-handed batter. That is the wheelhouse line. So it's a little neutral for the lefties, but a big kind of a hitter's park for the righties. With McRae on at first, the next batter for the Royals will be Wally Joyner. He bats .314 with 7 homers against the right-handers. McRae on at first, not running. Here is the pitch. Push this back, give my cards a little more room here. There we go. And that is a 4. That's a tough 44, and that is going to be a base hit for Wally Joyner. He gets a hit right off of Martinez. That is a sharp liner into center field. Brian McRae will go to third base, and he will hold there as the runner on first advances 2 bases. Second straight hit, and Joyner, who definitely can get power. And so already the Royals are runners at first and third and 1 out. Usually both these teams are graded as an A in the quick results charts, which means these teams are pretty equal, and they're excellent teams. So we should be seeing some fireworks tonight. Mike Mcfarland is the next batter for Kansas City, bats .252 with 11 homers. Runners at first and third, 1 out. Cleveland will play infield back, looking for the double play. Here is the pitch. That is a 5. It's a patient 18, and that is a walk. So he gives the base on balls to Mcfarland, and just like that, here in the top of the first inning, Cleveland already dealing with Kansas City's bases loaded situation. So an early opportunity for the Royals to get some runs. The next batter is the designated hitter, Bob Hamelin. He bats .287 with 24 homers against righties. So we know we can expect something big from him possibly. Infield still playing back. They're going to try for the double play. But Bob Hamelin's double play rating is a 5. To be very difficult. Actually, they're going to play the infield in and try to get the runner out. So Cleveland will go infield in. I shall get my infield in chart ready to go, just in case. And here's the pitch from Martinez, and that is a 6. That is an in-play 35. And that is going to be a pop-up to third base. Wow. Coming over for it is going to be Thome. He will make the catch. 2 outs, and that was the one thing Kansas City didn't want to see, a strikeout or a pop-out. And it's going to be 2 away. Dennis Martinez gets away with that one, a pop-out. His wild pitch rating is a 30, so we'll keep track on that. 2 outs. The batter now is Gary Gaetti. Bats .297 with 7 homers against the righties. So now Kansas City will play normal, and Cleveland will play normal defense. Here's the pitch. This is an 8. That's a tough 65. Base hit for Gary Gaetti. He gets a single. Just got it, too. He just gets the single. McRae will score. Joyner automatically scores from second. Mcfarland goes to third with 2 outs. Gaetti on at first. And the Royals jump out in front 2-0 here in the first. And fans here already giving some moans early in a series that Cleveland and Kansas City knows how important it is. A big base hit from Gaetti will score 2 runs. And runners at first and third, still 2 outs. Next up for the Royals is Felix Jose. Bats .295 with 8 homers against the right-handers. 2 outs. The pitch from Dennis Martinez. And that is an 8. That's a tough 43. Struck him out. And the side is retired. So Dennis Martinez gives up the 2 runs for Kansas City as they jump out in front early. But you know, here in the game of payoff pitch baseball, anything is possible, especially when these 2 teams get together. Struck him out. So 2 runs for the Royals on 3 hits. We go to the bottom half of the first inning, and we'll take a look at the starting lineup. For the Cleveland Indians, it'll be Kenny Lofton batting first. Omar Vizquel bat second. Carlos Baerga will bat third. Albert Bell fourth. Eddie Murray will bat fifth. Paul Sereno will bat sixth. Sandy Alomar bats 7th. Jim Thome will bat 8th. And Wayne Kirby will be batting 9th. Eddie Murray is the designated hitter. Defensively for Kansas City, Joyner is at first base. Jose Lean is at second. Gary Gaetti at third. The shortstop is Greg Gagne. Left field is Vince Coleman. Center fielder McRae. Right fielder is Jose. Mcfarland behind the plate. On the mound for the Kansas City Royals will be David Cone. Last time I had him out there, I don't think he had that great a game. But in 1994, 16 wins, 5 losses, 2.94 ERA. And he averages 6.9 strikeouts, 2.8 and 2.8 walks, 0.8 homers per 9 innings. And just to double check, make sure I'm correct, I do not believe Cone had that great an outing his last time up with Kansas City. With Kansas City, I believe it was that game against. It was that 11-inning game. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that game against the Orioles. Let's see. When did he pitch last? Let's see. I know he did. I think it might have been the first. Might have been the first game I had Kansas City. Yes, it was a game against the Yankees. And actually, yeah, game against the Yankees. He had a rough outing. Got kind of roughed up later in the game, but he actually didn't get the win. Montgomery got that in the extra inning matchup. So we'll see how David Cone does tonight, as leading off for Cleveland will be Kenny Lofton. Kenny Lofton bats .359 with 9 homers against the right-handers. As I told you, that what we saw the last time we saw Cleveland, we saw them take out the California Angels. This Cleveland team is really, really good. We'll see how Kansas City handles it. They're up to a 2-0 lead. Here's the pitch. And this is going to be an 8. That's a tough 32. And Kenny Lofton's going to lead it off with a base hit of his own as he smacks one into left field. He will make it to first easily. The throw comes into third. And just like that, the Indians get a leadoff base runner. And Kenny Lofton, his steal rating is an 8 and an 8B. He is definitely a threat to steal. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get him to do so. So Omar Vizquel is the next batter. Kenny Lofton 8B. Let's take a look at the steal rating. He is a B. Mcfarland's arm rating is a 4. So actually, that would be an excellent chance for him to steal. So we're gonna send Kenny Lofton. He automatically gets it. Well, first we got to see if he gets the jump. David Cone's hold rating is a 7. Kenny Lofton's rating is an 8. So a 0 to 70, Kenny Lofton goes. It's a 98. He will not. So that means David Cone holds him, and Lofton will not be able to steal on this at bat. That could be huge. So here's Omar Vizquel. He bats .304 with no homers. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be an 11. That's a tough. That is a 60, and that's a fly ball to right. Coming under it will be Jose. He makes the catch, 1 out. And with the dice roll at 11, Lofton will still not be able to get the lead on this batter. And that will bring up Carlos Baerga. How big was not getting the jump? And that's huge. I do use the jump chart. And anything's possible when you don't get the jump. The only time I would go ahead and use a pickoff play is if he attempts with a poor jump. And I'll give David Cone the opportunity, or I'll give the pitcher the opportunity to get him out on a pickoff play. Here's Baerga. He batted .345 with 11 homers in '94 against the righties. This Indians team was a one-hitting machine in 1994. Here's the pitch from Cone. This is going to be a ballpark 26. That is Baerga's batting from the left side. That is a definite wheelhouse. That is a 46, and it's going to be a single for Baerga. That is a base hit. Let's see what it is. It's a opposite field liner into left field. Runner on first advances 1 base, so Lofton will hold at second, and Baerga gets the first. Another base hit for the Indians in this inning. Runners at first and second, and still 1 out. And the next batter for the Indians will be Albert Bell. He is in left field today. Well, it's actually a normal position. Batted .353 with 27 home runs. So we're going to see what happens here. Runners at first and second, 1 man out. Here's the pitch from Cone. And this is going to be a 7. That's an in-play 82 fly ball center field. And McRae's going to get under this one, and he will make the catch. Kenny Lofton's run rating is an 8. What's on the board is a 7. He could attempt to go to third if he wants to. Center fielder's arm is an 8. Lofton, however, will score easily from second on a single, so he will hold at second and does not need to go to third base with 2 outs now. So that's the second out. And now here's Cleveland's designated hitter, Eddie Murray. Murray batted .275 with 12 homers against the righties in 94. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. 2-0 Kansas City. Here's the pitch to Murray. Can Cone get out of the inning? That's going to be a ballpark again, 0-3, definite wheelhouse. He's against the righties. That's a 24. Blast. And no, he will not. Eddie Murray hits a high fly ball deep to left center field. Going back is Coleman and McRae. Not a chance. That ball is out of here. Eddie Murray gets a 3-run shot as he sends this one over the left center field fence. A 24 versus the right-handers, and that will do it. So the Royals get 2 in the top of the first, and the Indians get 3 in the bottom of the first. A 3-run shot by Eddie Murray. And the fans here at Jacobs Field are loving this one, and they know how important this series is. Do a quick reset as we clear the board. So David Cone gives up a homer, and he averaged about 0.8 home runs per 9. So we'll see if that's his only one, but he's going to give up. But I'm not so sure about that. Next batter for the Indians will be Paul Sereno. And there's Bears Den 007. Welcome to brand new Jacobs Field here in 1994. Brand new stadium. This was the year it opened up. And you just missed a big home run by Eddie Murray to put the Indians ahead 3-2 here in the bottom of the first inning. Huge game today between these two. Two excellent teams. This is going to be a fun game to play. David Cone, 2 outs without pitcher Sereno. He batted .282 with 11 home runs. Here is the pitch. That's a patient 95. That will do it. A fly ball to right. Coming under it will be Jose. And he will make the catch, and the side is retired. So Cleveland picks up 3 runs on 3 hits in the bottom of the first. Already at the end of 1 inning, we've already got a 3-2 lead. Buckle up, people. This is going to be one heck of a game. Top of the second coming up. Denny Martinez comes back out for Cleveland. Maybe he'll see if he settles down a little bit after giving up 2 runs in the top of the first. Leading off for the Royals will be Jose Lean, batted .273 with no homers against the righties in 94. Again, if you guys probably missed it, I'll let you know. Of course, both these teams come in a big game. The Royals come in at 72-61. Cleveland 79-51. As far as payoff pitch play, the Royals are 3-1 when I play them. Cleveland is 1-0. But anything can go when two grade A teams play each other. Let's see how Denny Martinez goes. The pitch to Lean, that is going to be a 7. That's an in-play 87, and that's a ground ball hit to short. That's picked up by Vizquel. He gets it, throws it over to first for out number 1. And the next batter will be Greg Gagne. Gagne batted .267 with 6 homers against the righties. Here's the pitch. And that is a 5. That's a patient 27. And Greg Gagne will get ball 4, and he will go to first. Base on balls for Gagne. Top of the batting order for the Royals, here's Vince Coleman. Coleman grounded out his last time up. Gagne on at first, steal rating 6D, will not run. And here's the pitch to Coleman. And that's going to be a 6. That's an in-play. And 89 is going to be a ground ball to short. Let's see if they turn it. The Double play rating for Vince Coleman is a 5. Martinez is an 8. It's a 6. The only play is to second base, so Gagne is out. Coleman will get to first base on the fielder's choice. 2 outs. As Gagne is eliminated. And the batter now will be Brian McRae. Vince Coleman, of course, has a very good chance to steal. And he's got a 6 and a 9B with 2 outs. I'm reluctant. Let me see what his steal rating would be. He's a B. And Alomar's arm is a 2. So that would be a B2. That would be a normal chance to steal second base. With 2 outs, I will not do it. I'll let Brian McRae hit away with 2 men away. Brian McRae did hit a single his last time up, and he scored. So 2 outs. Here's the pitch to McRae. And that's going to be an in-play 0-4, and that is a definite base hit for Brian McRae. And that rolls all the way, that goes all the way to the left center field wall. Vince Coleman didn't have to steal from first base on a double. He will definitely score, and the Royals tie this game up at 3 on a 2-out double by Brian McRae. McRae settles in at second base. And already tied at 3 here. So right now, David Cone, both Cone and Martinez are having some issues pitching. So we'll see if they calm down. McRae's on at second with 2 outs. The next batter for the Royals is Joyner, and he singled his last time up. 2 men down. Dennis Martinez like to get out of this inning with only giving up a tie, but here's the pitch to Joyner. That's going to be a tough 70, and it is a ground ball to short. He will get out of the inning. Vizquel gets it, throws to first, and that will do it for the Royals in the inning. One run on 1 hit and a walk. Bottom of the second coming up. We are tied at 3. And coming up to bat for the Indians will be Sandy Alomar. He is catching. Alomar batted .321 with 14 homers against righties. I'll tell you, this Tenacious Strat joins me. How you doing, Earl? Welcome. Welcome to Jacobs Field. You're missing some fireworks already. We're tied at 3 at the bottom of the second here. So hold on to your seats. This could be a fun game to watch. Alomar, the leadoff batter against David Cone. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a tough 10. He struck him out. 1 away. Big strikeout for David Cone. We'll see if he's calmed down since his first inning. And that brings up Hall of Famer Jim Thome, batted .304 with 18 homers against righties. If you've noticed, pretty much every Indians player that has come to every Indians player that has come to bat, they're all batting like 250, like 260, 270 and higher, and some 300 against right-handers. This Indians team was a machine in '94. I don't know. I know a lot of people say the Expos might have been the best team. It'll be fun when I get to the playoffs, and we got a month to go as we just started the payoff pitch pennant race. 1 out, and here's Thome. We'll see what he does. This is going to be an 8. That's a tough 91. Ground ball to second base. That'll be picked up by Lean. He has it. Tosses it over to first for the second out, a routine ground out. And the next batter will be Wayne Kirby. Kirby bats .297 with 5 homers against righties. Kirby is usually an outfield utility guy. He is playing right field today, according to the starting lineup. Here's the pitch from Cone, and that's going to be a ballpark 63. That's in play, and that's going to be a 14, and that is going to be a base hit. Wayne Kirby gets himself a single. He sends this one into left center field, and that is definitely going to be picked up by McRae. He gets it, throws it in, and Kirby is safe with a 2-out single. Indians don't go quietly. Base hit for Kirby. Top of the batting order. Here's Kenny Lofton. He singled his last time up. So he is 1 for 1. Kirby Steel Freighting 5C will not run. Kenny Lofton will hit away. Here is the pitch. And that is an 8. That's a tough 18. Just got him on the inside corner. What a pitch. Struck him out. On a 1-18, he strikes out against the righties, and an 18 is rolled. Just got him. And Kenny Lofton can't believe it. But the umpire looks at him and said, hey, it was on the black. And Kenny Lofton said, I looked outside and said, look, it was on the black. You're out. Go sit down. And actually, get out in the field, okay? It's done. Side retired. So David Cone gets a big strikeout on Kenny Lofton. And that will end the inning. So no runs for the Indians on a hit. 2 are in the books. We are tied at 3. This is the first game of a 3-game series between these guys. We, of course, are just doing game 1. As we're doing we're doing 2 big other games coming up as well tomorrow and the day after as we begin this 1994 payoff pitch pennant race. Top of the 3rd inning, tied at 3, leading off for the Royals will be Mcfarland. He got a base on balls last time up, so he has no official at bat. Here is the pitch. This is going to be an 11. That's a ballpark. 61, that is wheelhouse. And a 19, pow, that will do it. High fly ball down deep to right field. Going back for it is Kirby. He's going back for it, but he's just going to have to let it go over his head, and that is over the wall. Mike Mcfarland sends a home run into right, and the Royals take the lead. A solo shot from Mcfarland on a ballpark wheelhouse. And the Royals take a 4-3 lead. And Mike Mcfarland has nothing but high fives in the dugout. Denny Martinez gives up his first home run of the game. Averages about 0.7 per 9. 4-3 KC now. Here's Hamlin. Hamlin popped out his last time up. Here is the pitch. That's going to be a 9, and in play, 81, fly ball center field. Lofton will get under this one. He will make the catch for the first out. Gary Gaetti will come up next. He singled his last time up. He's 1 for 1. 1 away. Royals lead 4-3. Here is the pitch. That is a 3. That's a defense. That'll be fine, though. A 97. A range check to second base. That's it to Baerga. His range is a B. No problem. He gets it easily. Throws to first for the second out. 1-35 would have been a hit. There was no way that was not going to get through. Great play by Baerga. 2 outs. And now the batter will be Felix Jose. As you see, the one thing I like about payoff pitch baseball, how fluid the game goes, how seamlessly the game goes. You don't need to look at any charts. And if you use the fact deck, you rarely have a chart look up. You only have to look at a couple of charts like infield in, maybe the infield in chart and a couple of others. But really, the game flows very, very smoothly. The reason why my games take about 2 hours to play is because I can't shut up. Here's Felix Jose. 2 outs. Royals lead 4-3. And that is an in play. That is a 10. That's going to be a base hit for Felix Jose. He sends this one into the right field corner. That's going to be thrown into the infield. Jose is going to go for 2, and he will get there sliding in with a 2-out double for Jose. He will hold there at second. Nice hit by Felix Jose. A nice 2-out double. And now we will see Jose leaned. And leaned grounded out his last time up. Of course, now when I play my 1921 Cardinals replay, I do that non-presentation style, which means I just roll the dice and do what the game says and move on. This is presentation style. 2 outs. Jose on at second. Jose lean at the plate. Martinez, hopefully he can get out of this, but here's the pitch to lean. That is a 4. That's a tough 60. Fly ball right field. And it's going to be Kirby who'll get under that one. And he will make the play. And that will end the inning. So the Royals pick up a 1 run, 2 hits. As right now the Royals are doing the hitting. but Cleveland is explosive, and they could put runs on the board. 4-3, Kansas City. Bottom half of the third coming up. We'll see what David Cohn has in mind. Leading off for the Indians will be Omar Vizquel. What did he do last night? He flew out. Sports Time Machine, Utah Mike. Welcome to Jacobs Field. We're already in the bottom of the third inning, and runs are coming all over the place. 4-3, Kansas City. Should be a fun game to watch between these two. Omar Vizquel leading off for the Tribe. Here's the pitch. That's going to be an 8. That's a tough 61 ground ball to second base. And it's picked up by Lean. He will throw to first, 1 out. One man down. The batter will be Baerga. Baerga singled his last time up. He's 1 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be a 5. That's a patient. A 60. That one is a fly ball to right field. Coming under this one will be Felix Jose. He has plenty of room. He will settle under it and put it away for the second out. And that will bring up Bell. Bell flew out his last time up. He's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch from Cohn. This is a 3. That's a defense 20. That could be a problem. And it's a range check to second base. It's Lean. His range is a C. He will not get to that. 1 to 45, 20 on the board. That is going to be a base hit. We'll see what kind of hit it is. Second base, and that is a single, as Albert Bell will hold at first base with a 2-out knock. Bell on at first, 4C rating, but he will not, and although he does have the lead to steal, he will not, because you got Eddie Murray coming up to bat now. Eddie Murray sent a souvenir out to the fans here at Jacobs Field. 3-run home run in the first. So David Cohn has to be a little careful here with Eddie Murray. 2 outs. Albert Bell, a run rating of 7, will score on a double. And here is the pitch. And that's going to be a 9. That's a tough. That's a 58. And it's a fly ball to right field. Getting under this one is Felix Jose. He looks up, puts on his glasses, takes off his glasses, puts them back on again, puts out his glove, block, and the ball just falls into it. Side retired. No runs on a hit. And so far, David Cohn has not given up anything since the first. 3 are in the books. Royals 4, Indians 3. And of course, you know it's time for that commercial break. Be right back after this. Give me about a minute. Before we go to the top of the fourth inning, I'd like to show you guys a few things here concerning the standings. If you take a look here at the standings, you'll see that This is the standings for the month of August for the American League. The team that had the best record in the American League by my games and by simulation quick results were the Cleveland Indians. They were 13-4. They were behind the Chicago White Sox at the start of the restart. They now hold a very nice almost a five game lead as the White Sox went 7-10. So this was the best team in the American League, Cleveland, by quick results and by the games. In the National League, the Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros had the best record. Houston was 14-6, Atlanta 14-5. So, and Atlanta still, and now is only 4 games back of Montreal for first place in the National League East. Houston took over first place in the National League Central from the Reds. They were leading that division, and Houston took it right from them. The worst team, however, was unfortunately my Mets had the worst record. They were 6-12 with the Pirates, 6 wins, 12 losses via quick results and play. Unfortunately, my Mets were just a meh team, and they unfortunately had the worst record. The Marlins had a good 13-6. The Reds were 12-5, still strong. So, but look at the Dodgers here too. 5-13. The Dodgers lost first place to the Giants. They were in first when the restarts began, and now San Francisco has it. So as we get closer, as we get further and further in the pennant race, I wanted to show you guys those stats so you see what's going on. And of course, I told you this is the first of 3 big games in a row. We got Kansas City, Cleveland tonight. Tomorrow, we go back to Olympic Stadium as the Cincinnati Reds will play the Montreal Expos tomorrow. Another matchup of 2 teams rated an A. So 3 big games in a row. So tomorrow, Reds at Expos. That'll be tomorrow on Payoff Pitch Baseball. Meanwhile, let's get back to our game. Top of the 4th, Royals lead the Indians 4-3. Denny Martinez will come out and try to see if he can continue to settle down. Kansas City scored a run in every inning so far. Here's Greg Gagne. Gagne walked his last time up. And I hope you guys don't mind that I explain that stuff to you. If you guys have been following the restart, you want to know what the other teams are doing because we're doing full playoffs and everything. And I heard today that Philadelphia Phillies suspended more of their action, so that's sad to hear, as we're trying to get this baseball season going, but I just don't know. Here's the pitch to Gagne, and that's going to be a patient 27. That is a base on balls. Gagne will walk for the 2nd time, so he goes to first. A 6D steal rating. He has it, but a D, I don't think I'd send him. I don't think I would send him against Alomar. He would be a 2. He would be a poor chance. So no, he will not attempt it. No steal there. And we'll go with Vince Coleman, who will lead it off for the Royals. I'll also let you know roster expansion occurred today. So every player that was on these teams is available. I went ahead and checked with Out of the Park to make sure I had every player that was on the team available. That, of course, Joe Bryan at Payoff Pitch put. He actually is missing a couple of players from this 94 set. I have no problem with it because the player he's missing only had about 2 at-bats. So I get it. No problem. This is an excellent season, I think. 1994. Good season. Maybe I should have just played this season from beginning to end, but I like the restart. Gagne on it first. Here's the pitch to Coleman. And that's going to be an in-play 49. That's a ground ball to 3rd. Coleman's double play rating. He's very hard double play. Double play is 5. Martinez is an 8. They will get Gagne out at 2nd easy, but Vince Coleman does get to 1st with 1 out. Coleman with that speed, very hard to get out of it. Get out. So that goes as a fielder's choice. He is safe. Gagne is out of there. And the batter will be Brian McRae. Now for Vince Coleman, I will have him attempt to steal a 9B. So let's see, but because the last time he got the lead, but he didn't get the jump. So let's see if he tries again. He'll try to steal here. Runner steal rating is 9. Martinez the hope rating is a 7. We check the optional get a jump chart. 7 against the 9. It's a 0 to 70. So a 0 to 70, Vince Coleman will go. It's a 20. There he goes. And it's an excellent, he has an excellent chance with a 9 against Alamar's 2. Actually, the still rating is a B. I'm sorry. B2. It's a normal. So there he goes. It's a normal chance. Here's the throw down to second, and he is safe easily. Safes all down the line on the stealing chart on stealing card. He made it there pretty almost standing up. And so he will get a stolen base. And a man on second now for the Royals with that speed. And now the batter is still Brian McRae. McRae is 2 for 2, singled and doubled. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 4 tough 87. That's a ground ball to short. That's a ground ball to shortstop. The play is going to be made to first with a run rating of 8. Vince Coleman will make it to third. With that kind of speed, he gets there. 2 outs, but McRae is out. I will, on a run rating of 8, I'll get on a ground ball there. They're not going to get Coleman, so he's going to go to third base. 2 outs. Although he didn't have to, because he would have scored from second on a single anyway. But that is a fielder's choice. And now the batter is Wally Joyner. Coleman on at third. Joyner at the plate. Joyner is 1 for 2. Royals trying to get another run here for the 4th straight inning. Here's the pitch to Joyner. That's a 9. That's an in play. 41. It won't happen here. Grounded right back to Denny Martinez. He gets it, throws to first, and the inning is over for the first time. For the first time, the Royals do not get a run in the inning. No runs on no hits, a walk, and that pretty much was it. So Denny Martinez gets some congratulations in the Cleveland dugout for not giving up a run this time. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 4-3 Royals. Here comes David Cone. He's settled down since the 1st. Leading off for Cleveland will be Paul Sereno. And he flew out his last time up. Here is the pitch. And this is a 7. That's an in play. 45 will be okay. That's a ground ball to first. Coming on it is Joyner. He'll take it. He'll take it himself for the straight put out. And that's 1 out. And that will bring up Sandy Alomar. Alomar struck out his last time up. 0 for 1. Here is the pitch. It's a 9. It's a tough 47. And that is a ground ball to third. It's going to be picked up by Gaetti. Throws all the way to first. And we'll get Alomar out by a couple of steps. And that is 2 outs. And now they will bring up this monster of a guy, Jim Thome. He was only 24 years old in 1994. And he hit a total of 17 home runs that year. 15 against the right-handers. And this brand new ballpark here at Jacobs Field. Of course, not all of them were at that whole park, but he was already becoming into his own at that time. Still a young kid. 2 outs. David Cone trying for a 1-2-3 inning. Does he get it? It's an 8. It's a tough 82. He will. That's a ground ball to second base. It's picked up by Lean. He will throw to first. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for David Cone. 3 straight ground outs. 1 to first, 1 to third, and 1 to second. Each base got a turn. Nothing across there. Still 4-3 Kansas City. And we go to the top of the 5th. Leading off for the Royals will be Mike Mcfarland. Mcfarland hit a home run his last time up, so he's 1 for 1. He walked in the 1st inning. Mcfarland had power. He hit 11 home runs against the righties in 94, so he has power. Here's the pitch from Denny Martinez. And that is a 9. That's an in play. 16, that's going to be a single from Mcfarland. He hits this one up the middle, pretty much into straightaway center field. Mcfarland will get his second hit of the game. He will hold it first. Nice way to start for the Royals. His steal rating's a 2B. He will not run. And here is Bob Hamelin, the DH. He is 0 for 2. Popped out and flew out. Crowd here at Jacobs Field trying to root on Cleveland's defense. Full house here. There'll be a full house pretty much at this stadium, at today's game and the next two for these series that are going on here to start the pennant race. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be a tough to Hamelin, 48. And he's going to belt this one. This is going to be a double for Bob Hamelin. He hits it. It's going to roll to the wall in right center field. And that's going to be picked up by Kirby. He's going to have to throw it in there, but a double. Let's see what kind of double it is. And that is a deep down. It is a drive down the line to right field. The runners advance 2 bases, so Mcfarland will hold at third. It will not score him. So runners at second and third and nobody out. Mcfarland holds. Drive down the line to right field. Runners advance 2, and that's it. Hamelin gets his first hit of the game. It'll bring up Gary Gaetti. Runners at second and third, nobody out. First base open. His double play rating is an 8, but you wouldn't be trying to. You'll be getting Felix Jose for a double play. Kansas City will call the infield in. As they're going to try to keep the run from scoring. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 6. That's an in-play 63. And that is a ground ball. That is a ground ball to second. So let's see what we get here. On an infield in, the number is a 6. Runner on third out at home. Batter safe. Other runners advance 1 base. So Mcfarland is thrown out at the plate. Gaetti is safe at first. Hamelin moves over to third. And 1 out on the infield in. So that is successful in a way. So it goes as a fielder's choice. And the next batter is Felix Jose. Kansas City will now call the infield back to try to get the double play. Runners at first and third. Jose, though, hit a double his last time up. He is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 5. That's a patient 0-5. That is a walk. So Denny Martinez gives up the base to Jose, and now the bases are juiced. For Jose Lean, Cleveland will play the infield back. A big chance here for Kansas City to get some more runs. They're going to need him, I think, in this game. Jose Lean at the plate. He is 0 for 2. Here's the windup. The pitch on the way. And that is a 6. That's an in-play 0-1. And that is going to clear the bases. Jose Lean on an in-play. That is a definite double. As he hits this one into the left field corner. And that will clear the bases. Hamelin's rate, at least it should. Let's see here. Actually, that's right. There's only 1 out. Liner into left. Actually, it's a liner to left center, cut off by left field. Runners advance 2 bases. My bad. I forgot it was only 1 out. So Hamelin will score. Gaetti will score. Jose holds at third. Lean is on at second. So 2 runs come in. My bad. I thought it would clear the bases, but I was wrong. I forgot there was only 1 out. There was 2 outs. It would have. A double by Lean. So that scores Hamelin, scores Gaetti. Jose goes to third. Lean is on at second. And like that, the Royals now lead it 6-3. And out comes, I believe Mike Hargrove was I'm not sure. Was he the manager of the Indians here? I'm not entirely remember. I didn't check my ending, but here comes the Cleveland manager, and that is going to be it for Denny Martinez. Martinez is done, and Cleveland will look to the bullpen, and every player is available with it. So I will now be able to pick and choose from whom I want completely from the card roster. And coming on to pitch for Cleveland will be Matt Turner. Turner actually pitched in 9 games for the Indians. 1 win, no losses, a 2.13 ERA. He is a long reliever, so he can pitch innings 5, 6, and 7 here. He has a lot of in-plays on his card, though, but no wheelhouses. So out comes Matt Turner to pitch for Cleveland. With runners at second and third and 1 out, Greg Gagne is the batter. He's been walked twice. And I wonder if you intentionally walk him to set up a double play. But then again, it's Vince Coleman. I think you go ahead and you pitch to Gagne. Although Coleman is not that great a hitter. They're going to intentionally walk Gagne and load the bases. And that's going to be the 3rd time he's walked in this game. And they'll pitch to Coleman. They're going to call the infield in. They know it's going to be difficult to get Coleman. So the infield is in. The Cleveland does not want to give up any more runs, and there's 1 out. But the base is loaded, though, so it could be interesting. Here's the pitch from Matt Turner. That's going to be an in-play 586, and that is a ground ball. That is a ground ball to short, and a 5 is on the board. And if the bases are loaded and the 2D6 result is 2-5, runner on third out at home, batter out at first, double play. On a 2-5, that is a double play. The infield in works, and the Indians get out of the inning, only giving up 2 runs. Vince Coleman still grounds out into the double play. Thrown from the infield in, thrown to short, threw it right to the plate to get the 1 out, then threw to first to get the 2nd, and Cleveland gets out of the jam. Tribe fan, he's here. Welcome, welcome. Hey, brother, this game is far from over. And they just got a big double play, which will go down as a 6-2-3, and that clears the bases. But the Royals get 2 runs. 2 runs on 3 hits and a couple of walks. Kansas City leads 6-3, timeout. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning. We replace our fast action card deck, number 1. It goes into the bag because that deck is retired for the night. And we have our 2nd deck already shuffled and ready to go. And this deck will be used for the remainder of the game. My next payoff pitch order is coming in, so my 3rd deck will be coming in, which means I'm replacing decks every 3 innings. And no, they're not being mixed up. They're all going to be separated. Hence the bags. Where are we? Bottom of the 5th inning. Royals lead the Indians 6-3. David Cone will now pitch for Kansas City. And the batting order leads off for Cleveland is Wayne Kirby. Kirby singled his last time up. So don't fret there, Tribe fan. This game is far from over. Here's the pitch from Cone. And that is a 9. That's a tough 92. Ground ball to second base. That's picked up by Lean. He has it. He throws to first. 1 out. Ground out to second. The batter will be Kenny Lofton. I remember you telling me, Tenacious Earl, that you didn't have a copy of Payoff Pitch. I don't think you said you got a copy. I recommend you try it out. Just get a season. Buy 1 copy in a season. I really think you'll like it. I don't think it'll replace your Stratomatic, but I think this is one of the best systems around. And plus, Joe Bryan is going to be updating some of his charts and doing some updates to it, so the game's going to get even better, I think. 1 out. Here's Kenny Lofton. Lofton is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch, and that is a leaner, and that's fouled away. Strike 1. Next attempt, that's an in-play. 74, ground ball to short. Coming up with it is Gagne. He has it. He throws to first to get the speedy Lofton. Just did, too. Lofton almost got there. But that is the second out. And that will bring up Vizquel. Vizquel is 0 for 2. Flew out and grounded out. Here's the pitch. And that is a 6. That's a tough. That's an 18. Struck him out. And the inning is over. And again, he barely strikes out Vizquel. But he got him on that pitch. Vizquel swung and missed at that one. And he barely missed it. It was right there. He just couldn't get it. Maybe he foul-tipped it into his glove. But either way, that is another 1-2-3 inning for Cone. As Cone has really settled down since the first inning. In the first inning, he gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. He hasn't given up any runs since, and the last 2 have been up and down. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Fans here at Jacobs Field want to see some Tribe magic. Matt Turner pitching for Cleveland. As a member, I stated, roster expansion has now filled up the lineup, so everybody is available that was on the team. Here's Brian McRae. McRae is 2 for 3, a single, a double, and a fielder's choice. Here's the pitch from Turner. That's going to be an in-play of 48, and that is a ground ball to first. And Sorrento will make that play, and that is out number 1. Here's Joyner. Joyner singled in the first. He's been kept quiet since. He's 1 for 3. Pitch to Joyner from Turner. That's a 4 in play, and that is going to be a base hit for Wally Joyner, and that is a double. He hits that one into left center field, and that's going to be picked up by Bell. He has it. He'll throw it in, but not until Joyner gets to second base. 1 out double for Joyner, his second hit of the game. And that will bring up Mike Mcfarland. Mcfarland is 2 for 2, a homer and a single, and he walked in the first. The pitch from Turner, that's an in play. That's a 19. That's going to be a single from Mike Mcfarland. That's a base hit. Line drive into center field. Runner on second will score, and the Royals now lead it 7-3. And the batter will be Bob Hamelin. Hamelin doubled his last time up. First run given up by Matt Turner. He's a long reliever. I think he can give up 3. I think he can give up 2 runs. We don't have to worry about fatigue. Cleveland has the bullpen warming up just in case. Here's Hamlin. And that is going to be a defense check, 69. That could be, let's see, error check to shortstop. That is Vizquel. His error rating is a 4, a 69. He will make the play. So let's see what kind of out it is. And that is going to be a ground ball plus advance. So Mcfarland will make it to second base. As a great play by Vizquel does get Hamlin at first. That's the second out. Fielder's choice from Hamlin. And now the batter is Gaetti. 7-3 Royals. 2 outs now. Mcfarland will score on a single. Here's the pitch. That's a 7. It's a patient 91. He will do just fine. That's a fly ball deep to left field. But Bell's got plenty of room. And he will squeeze it for the final out of the inning. So 1 run on 2 hits. Mcfarland having a heck of a day. On 2 RBI, he's got 3 RBIs today, and he's 3 for 3 with a walk. So Mcfarland right now is the guy doing it. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 7-3 Royals. Here comes David Cone. Obsessive compulsive disorder, sorry. 7-3, David Cone will be pitching to Carlos Baerga. And he's 1 for 2. Bottom of the 6th begins. And that is a 10. That's a patient. That's a 21. And that is going to be a base hit for Carlos Baerga. It is a single. He hits this one to left field. Baerga will hold it first. It's picked up by Coleman. He throws it in. And the Indians have the leadoff man on. Baerga's steal rating is a 4B, a 10 on the board. He will not run. And why you're not running now, you're down by 4 runs. Salvador America joins me in Jacobs Field. Welcome, sir. Honor to have you. Please take a seat. Still plenty of baseball left. So here's Albert Bell. Albert Bell he's singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Baerga on it first. No stealing. You're down by 4 runs. You need base runners, and you need hits. Here's the pitch for Bell. That is an 8. That's a 20. That is a 21, and he struck him out. 1 away. Strikes out Albert Bell. That is David Cone's 1, 2, 3. That's his 4th strikeout for the game. But now the dangerous Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray 1 for 2. He had a 3-run homer in the first. Baerga on it, first base. Eddie Murray looking to see if he can smack another one. Here's the pitch. That's a 3. It's a defense 95. That'll be just fine. It's an error check to second base. Baerga will make, Lean is going to make his error rating as a 4, a 1-36, a 95 is on, and he will get it. Let's see what kind of an out it is. And that is going to be a pop out. So it's actually popped up. And it's a pop-up to second base, and Lean has a little problem judging it, but it falls into his glove for the second out. Eddie Murray pops out. Oh, boy. And that hurts. Batter now will be Sereno. Sereno's 0 for 2. Baerga with a run rating of 8. He will score on a double. Here's the pitch from Cone. And that is an 8. That's a tough 86. And it's a ground ball to second base. That's picked up by Lindoso. He tosses to Gagne covering second, and the inning is over. So since the first inning, David Cone has actually pitched like, well, David Cone. And that ends the inning on a ground out to second. So no runs for the Indians on a hit. 6 in the books. Still 7-3, Kansas City. Going to try to get a game of Payoff pitch 77 replay. There you go. Great year. They all are. There's always something special about every year that you play, no matter what game engine, no matter what. There's always something special about it. There's always something special. You want to play any year, they're all special. The one thing I like from he only has 25, pretty much only 25 seasons for Payoff pitch, but the seasons he's chosen so far are excellent. And of course, he got everybody's favorite seasons. Most of mine, of course, is 1986, which is going to be available in late August. Okay, 16. Everyone likes. A lot of people like the 69 season, the 77 season, 81, 85, and some, of course, like the modern baseball era, 2019, 2018, 2017. That's the one thing I like it. And of course, it doesn't matter what game engine you're playing, whether it's Stratomatic or APA, which has every season available, or even some games that don't have that many seasons available, like Pine Tar Baseball. I know Al Red Sox fan swears by it. He's only got a few seasons available, but the game is, I see who I watch, is excellent. It's terrific. Top of the 7th inning, Royals lead the Indians 7-3. Matt Turner will try to get this will be his last inning. And leading off for Kansas City will be Felix Jose. Jose doubled, walked, and struck out. So he is, 1 for 2. Here's the pitch to Jose from Turner. That is an 8. That's a tough 98 fly ball left field. Coming under it will be Bell. And he makes the play, 1 out. And that will bring up Jose Lean. Lean doubled his last time up. Here's the pitch. And that is a 7. That's a patient 21. And that's going to be a base hit for Jose Lean. He gets one off of Turner there. That's a 21. He hits that one in the left field. That'll be picked up by Bell. He'll throw it in. And another hit for Lean. That's his second hit of the night. Steal rating 4C, will not run. You're up by 4 runs. Here's Greg Gagne. Here's the pitch from Turner. And that is a 7. That's a patient. An 18, and that's a walk. So Matt Turner walks Gagne. So now we have runners at first and second and 1 out. That is the 4th walk by Greg Gagne. He has walked all 4 times. He's been up 4 times and has no official at bat. The batter will be Vince Coleman. Catcher going to talk to Matt Turner. He's not reached fatigue yet, but if he gets another run comes in, he will. They want to go with him. He actually has a very good stat line, believe it or not. But I think if he walks another batter, if he walks another batter, I'll have to take him out. So 1 out. Vince Coleman is up. He is 0 for 4. Yeah, Coleman's 0 for 4. Although he did get on base. Here's the pitch. And that is a 6. That's an in-play 62. That is a ground ball to short. Or is that a ground ball to second? Wait a minute. Let's see. Is that 62? Let me look at that again. Nope, that's a ground ball to second base. And Vince Coleman his steal double play rating is a 5. They're going to get Gagne out at second. Lean goes to third. And Coleman makes the first. So a fielder's choice, but 2 outs. Another fielder's choice by Coleman. And the batter now is McCray. Vince Coleman. Ricky Henderson wannabe. Never panned out. Great speed, definitely. I mean, he had 50 stolen bases in 1994. Throughout his career, was always fast, always very quick. Could not hit like Rickey Henderson. Not even close. That's why Rickey Henderson is the greatest leadoff hitter in baseball history. 2 outs. Matt Turner is going to pitch to McRae. Base field will be normal. McRae is 2 for 4, single double. So here's the pitch. And that is a 9. That's a patient 64. That's going to be a base hit for Brian McRae. It is a single. With 2 outs, Lean will score easily. Coleman with a run rating at 8 will move to third. McRae holds at first. And now Kansas City is beginning to pull away. McRae gets his 3rd hit of the night. And now it is 8-3 Kansas City. That will be it for Turner. As he has to come out now, he is fatigued. So we go to the card bag and see who we want to put in there. Two outs. The next batter for Kansas City is Wally Joyner. And coming on to pitch for Cleveland will be Eric Plunk. I usually take the best pitchers available in the bullpens if I can. But a lot of these guys do get a lot of here's Eric Plunk. 7 wins, 2 losses, 2.54 ERA. He is also a long reliever. So we're in the 7th, so he can actually pitch the rest of the game if necessary. Here's Wally Joyner. Joyner's had a good night, 2 for 4, single and double. Willie Mays Hayes. Yeah, that would be it. Vince Coleman would be Willie Mays Hayes. Yeah, I agree. Great speed, just couldn't hit. If Vince Coleman could hit like Rickey Henderson, it would be a very close call between the two. But Rickey Henderson was just an amazing player. Best leadoff hitter in baseball history. You owe me 25 push-ups every time the ball goes in the air. 2 outs. Eric Plunk now pitching to Wally Joyner. Runners at first and third. Here's the pitch from Plunk. That's going to be an 8. That's a tough 0-1. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. On an 0-1, Wally Joyner went high and the ball went low. He was not even close. Not even close. But the Royals pick up another run on 2 hits. And on 2 hits, it's 8-3 Kansas City. And it is time for the 7th inning stretch. So, sing your Take Me Out to the Ballpark, and I'll be right back with the 10-minute ticker. Yeah, Coleman was fast, definitely. Their sports time, Utah Mike, he really was. That's for sure. But he just couldn't hit. That was the problem with him. He just could not really get the hits. It is time for the 10-minute ticker. Not every team played today. Was scheduled to play today on September 1st, 94. So not every team is on the board, but we're about to see who does what happens here. Of course, Steeler fan joins in. The bad news is, Steeler fan, your Astros are not playing tonight, either on the field or in 10-minute ticker. They are off. That is for certain. So your Astros, will not play tonight. But you can sit back and watch a game where the Royals are pounding the Indians 8-3. Don't think we'll have extra innings tonight, people. Oh, no, I said that out loud, didn't I? Here we go at the 10-minute ticker. California takes on Toronto. California needs a 2, 5, and 10. They will get it. They will win. They will beat the Blue Jays in a game. They will win that game 8-0. Win for California. The Detroit Tigers take on the New York Yankees. The Yankees have lost 3 straight. Does Detroit make it 4? Yes, they sweep the Yankees. They win that game. Oh, wow, was that 6-6? So I got to re-roll those again. And that 7-7. Hold on. 9-9. 12-11. That's how I figure out the score. 12-11. Detroit beats the Yankees. Can't believe I got that many doubles in a row. 12 the Yankees. So the Yankees have lost 4 straight. Kansas City and Cleveland being played tonight. We go to Oakland, Minnesota. Oakland needs a 2-6. They won't get it. Minnesota gets the win, a 4-1 win for the Twins over Oakland. Oakland still chasing the Rangers. Seattle, Milwaukee. Seattle playing a better team. Seattle needs a 2, 6, or 11. The Seattle game a 9. Nope, that's a win for the Brewers. They beat the Mariners 8-0 as they shut them out. St. Louis takes on San Francisco. Giants barely ahead of the Dodgers. St. Louis needs a 2, 6, 11. They get it. They beat the Giants 3-2. Baltimore and the White Sox. Now with the Yankees losing, big game here. Baltimore and the White Sox. Both teams rated an A. Can Baltimore gain a game? No, that's a win for the White Sox. They win that game 6-3. So Baltimore cannot gain a game on the Yankees. Atlanta takes on the Dodgers. With San Francisco losing, do the Dodgers retake first in the National League West? With a 10, they do 5-3. Although I'm not 100% sure about that, but the Dodgers do gain a game on the Giants if not. So the Dodgers get the win. Finally, Pittsburgh, San Diego. This game's pretty meaningless. And that is a win for the Padres. They win that game 9-5. And that will do it for today's 10-minute ticker. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. Bottom of the 7th inning here at Jacobs Field. This was the first year open for this ball club here at Jacobs Field. Gorgeous stadium. Of course, it's now called Progressive Field, but definitely beautiful stadium. I'm really happy the Indians got a ballpark like that, and this was their first year it opened. However, in this game, the Royals are making Cleveland maybe wishing they were back at Cleveland Stadium. Kansas City beating the Indians 8-3 here at bottom of the 7th inning. David Cone will come out and pitch, and leading off for the Indians as we get back to baseball will be Alomar. Alomar is 0-2. Yeah, they deserve a day off, I guess. Here's the pitch to Alomar. That is a 5. That's a patient 44. And that's going to be a single for Sandy Alomar. It's a base hit. He hits that one into left center field. Bleacher Bums Gaming joins me. There you go. Lee Anthony, how you doing, my brother? Watching a little baseball here at Jacobs Field. Sandy Alomar gets a single to lead off the inning. And now the batter will be Jim Thome. Thome has grounded out twice. Alomar's 4C steal rating will not run. You're down by 5 runs. Here's the pitch to Thome. And that is a 10. That's a patient 40. And that is a walk. David Cone gives up a leadoff hit to Alomar. And now he walks Thome. And nobody out to start the bottom of the 7th. Runners at first and second for Wayne Kirby. What did I say earlier? I don't think we're going to see extra innings. Sometimes this game jinxes me. Good to see you, Anthony. Definitely good to see you. Looking forward to some more of your more exciting Glory Days boxing. Check out everybody's wonderful channels, by the way. Al, Red Sox fan, always says this, and I never get a chance. It's 8-3. It should be clear. I can see it should be perfect. It's 8-3 is the score. Royals lead the Indians. It should be good. But here, I'll give it, make it easy for you there. 8-3 is the score. Should be fine. I mean, if looking good to me, it should be readable. This is the Indians. No jinx. Yeah, right? But as I said, well, our Red Sox fan doesn't mention anything about channels. I say, you know what? I keep on forgetting. So check out everybody's Bleacher Bums Gaming, Sports Time Machine, Bears Den, Steeler Fans, Salvador America, Tribe Fan. Everybody's channel here is awesome. Runners at first and second, though. Nobody out, bottom of the 7th. David Cone now in a little bit of a trouble. He hasn't had any issues since the first. Here's the pitch. That's a 6. It's a tough, and it's a rare play 0-0. When runners on base, we take a look. And we will now see it is a 7, re-roll 2d6, and check ballpark. 8. If result is within wheelhouse range, re-roll dice and check batter's wheel section. Oh, 2d10. I'm sorry, 2d10. 32. If result is within wheelhouse range, which it is, re-roll dice and check batter's wheel section. Re-roll dice, okay? So Wayne Kirby, that is in the wheelhouse. Jacobs Field is 1-53, so that's in his wheelhouse section. So we roll again, and it's an 80. Re-roll dice. Otherwise, deep fly ball caught by center field. Runners advance 1 base. So it's a high. So pretty much it's a very high fly ball, and it's caught at the wall, but it's deep enough for both runners to move up. So Wayne Kirby hits one pretty much at the deepest part of Jacobs Field. 1 out, but the runners advance on a sacrifice fly. So that's pretty much what that was. Fly ball to center. 1 out. Runners at second and third. Top of the batting order now for Cleveland and Kenny Lofton. Lofton is 1 for 3. Kansas City playing normal. You're up by 5 runs. You're looking for outs. 1 out. Here's the pitch to Lofton from Cone. That's a 9. It's a tough 50. And that is going to be a ground ball to first base. That's a ground ball to first. Lofton will be out at first. Runners will advance. So Alomar scores. Thome goes to third, and it is now 8-4. And 2 outs now. Ouch. That's harsh. That's harsh. That's harsh, Steeler fan. That's harsh. Really. Score is now 8-4. Jim Thome is safe at third. And the batter now is Omar Vizquel. Vizquel is 0 for 3. Matt making no friends. Play nicely, you guys in the chat. Jeez. 2 outs. Batter is Vizquel. Here's the pitch from Cone. That's a 6. That's a tough 88. That'll be the end. That's going to be the end of the inning. Ground ball to short. Picked up by Gagne. He has it. He throws to first, and the inning is over. The Indians do get a 1 run on 1 hit. A sacrifice fly and a walk. 7 in the books. The Royals lead the Indians 8-4. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Remember tomorrow, got another big game tomorrow. Cincinnati Reds versus Montreal Expos. And that's at Olympic Stadium. The second of 3 big games in a row where both teams are rated an A on the quick results charts. Eric Plunk will come out to pitch for Cleveland again. This will be his 2nd inning of work. He can go all the way to 9. Cone can still pitch the 8th. And leading off for Kansas City, pretty much maybe the player of the game is Mike Mcfarland. Baseball Demos. Hello. Welcome, Baseball Demos. Honor to have you here, sir. I always love watching your channel. Pleasure to have you with me, sir. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Royals lead the Indians 8-4 here. Mike Mcfarland is the batter. He is 3 for 3, a homer and 2 singles. Pretty much the player of the game right now if the score pretty much holds up. You know what she says? Perfectville, population 1. So here's the pitch to Mcfarland. Plunk throws it. That's a patient, a 31, and Mcfarland is going to reach base again on a base on balls. That's ball 4. And he has reached base every time. 3 times by hit and now twice by walk. 3 for 3 with 2 walks. McFarland's steal rating is a 2B. He will not run. You're up by 4 runs. There's no need to try anything smart. Here's Bob Hamelin. Hamelin what's he here? He's 1 for 4. He doubled earlier in the game. Here's the pitch to Hamelin. That is a 4. That's a tough 49, and that is going to be hit deep into the outfield. That is going to be a double for Bob Hamelin. That's a line drive into the alley, center field. Mike McFarland coming around third. They're going to send him home. He will make it there without a play. All runners score. 9-4 Royals. Hamelin holds it second. And the fans here at Jacobs Field are beginning to believe that this game is disappearing in front of them. And I might have to get my extra, extra markers for the scoreboard if necessary. 9-4 Royals. Hamelin on its second. That is his second double of the game. Scores McFarland. He's scored twice in this game here. The batter now is Gaetti. That's the first run given up by Plunk. And here's Gaetti. Gaetti singled in the first. He's 1 for 4 as well. Not Brady 07 Patriots. Get out. You're evicted. 9-4. Hamelin on its second. Here's the pitch to Gaetti. Plunk gives up another run. He will be replaced. It is a 6. That's a patient 0-3. Another walk. This one given up to Gaetti. And runners at first and second. I'll tell you, Cleveland pitching has not been good today. And the batter will be Felix Jose. Cleveland bullpen warming up. As I've told you so far, we're in September. September call-ups are done. Every player is available. No more 25-man rosters for the rest of the season. Here's Jose. He doubled in the fourth. He's 1 for 3. He also walked. Still nobody out. Here's the pitch from Plunk. And that is a 4. That's a tough. And that is closer to 72 for me. So that is a 72. And it is a ground ball to second base. Jose's double play rating is an 8. Plunk's is an 8. He will take it himself, throw to first, and get the double play. Hamlin will move to third. 2 outs. On a 4-3 double play. The batter now is Jose Lean. And yes, Sports Time Machine, we do know which team resides in Perfectville. That would be the logo you see there. Thank you. That is a fact, and that is indisputable. Other than that, my Dolphins have sucked the last 20, 30, 40 years. I love my Dolphins, but they don't love me. 2 outs, Lean to the batter. What has he done today? He is 2 for 4, singled and doubled. Hamlin on at third. Here's the pitch from Plunk. That is an 8. That's a tough 22. He steered right out, and the inning is over. So 1 run on 1 hit, couple of walks. And that does it for the Royals in this inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. David Cone has pitched beautifully. This is his inning of fatigue, but he is done for the game. He will be done as they're taking him out. He has reached his inning fatigue. He has given up 4 runs, so he is out of there. But a well-done inning by Cone. We'll see who Kansas City brings up now. Go to their bullpen. And they're going to go to their setup, and it's going to be Billy Brewer. I don't know. The problem I have, Utah Mike, with the draft, we got Tua. I really was not 100% sure, and every one of my Dolphin fans down here think we had a great draft. We had a lousy draft. I don't hardly know. I am a big-time college football fan. I know the talent that was available when Miami drafted with 3 first-round picks in the first round, and we get Tua and 2 projects. We stink when it comes to drafting. One of the reasons why the Dolphins have not been in a Super Bowl in, 30 years? 40, almost 40 years? Enough. Enough is enough. My team can't draft. They haven't drafted well since Dan Marino, and that's it. Should have passed on Tua, really. I would have been happy to get Jerry Jeudy at the first pick with the 5, DeAndre Swift with the 18, and then I would have taken Jalen Hurts because I liked Hurts. I think he's not a first-round pick. I liked him. He would look like a poor man's Lamar Jackson. But we'll see what happens if there is an NFL season this year. We don't even know. Meanwhile, back to baseball. Bottom of the 8th. The Royals lead the Indians 9-4. Billy Brewer will now pitch for Kansas City. Lefty, 4 wins, 1 loss, 2.56 ERA. This is not a save situation, of course. But anything can happen here in payoff pitch baseball. Here's Carlos Baerga. He leads off. He's 2 for 3. Baerga bats .261 with 8 homers against the lefties. Here's the pitch. That is a 10. That's a tough, and it's a rare play. But we go to the other rare play chart. And that is going to be a 2-3. Rain causes a lengthy rain delay. Outdoor park only. When play resumes, if either pitcher in the game at the start of the rain delay is 30 years or older, 30 years old or over. His arm stiffens up, and he must be replaced by a new pitcher. Well, Billy Brewer's a 26. Eric Plunk is a 31. So that means that Brewer can stay out, but Plunk is done. So Plunk comes off, and he won't pitch. So that means he will not pitch the bottom of the ninth, or the top of the ninth inning. So I will take Plunk out of there, but I'll worry about replacing him later, as soon as the bottom of the eighth is completed. So the rain passes by, sticks around for about maybe 35 minutes, but we got more baseball. Billy Brewer will come out again. Baerga is the batter. We'll do it again. Here's the pitch. And that's a 6. That's a tough. And that is a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Billy Brewer strikes out the first batter he faces after the rain delay. And there's one out. Yeah, I know you can't pay them all and all that crap, but that doesn't. But the Dolphins have so much money under the salary cap, they could have. They had over $100 million under the salary cap. Trust me, they would have been able to do it. They just don't. Here's Albert Bell. Albert Bell is 1 for 3. He bats .367 with 9 homers against lefties. Here's the pitch. That's an 11. That's a defense, but a 92 on defense will be fine. Error check to third base. The ball is hit to Gaetti. His error rating is a 5, which means it's easy for him. He actually closes his eyes. The ball goes into his glove, throws to first, 2 outs. That couldn't have been any easier for him. And now the batter is Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray homered in the first inning. This is what it's been for Cleveland. Kansas City got out to a 2-0 lead. Then Cleveland scored 3 in the bottom of the first. Since then, Cleveland pretty much has been kept quiet. Royals pitching has done the job today. 2 outs. Eddie Murray, he homered earlier. He is, what is he? He is 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. And that is a 7. That's a tough 91 ground ball to short. Picked up by Gagne. He has it. Throws to first. And a 1-2-3 inning for Brewer. He is short reliever, so he can pitch the 8th and the 9th. As Cone is done. And the inning is done. 8 innings in the books. 9-4, Kansas City. Go to the top of the 9th inning. And the Indians will have to bring out a pitcher. Let's see who they bring out for this. With a 5-run behind by 5. Coming out to pitch for Cleveland will be Jose Mesa. 7 wins, 5 losses, 3.82 ERA. Mesa can pitch the 9th and 10th. If necessary, if we get to a 10th inning, which I don't think we will. But here's Jose Mesa. And leading off for Kansas City is the top of their order, Greg Gagne. Well, actually, not the top of their order. I'm sorry. Bottom of their order. Greg Gagne has walked all 4 times. He has no official at bat, but he does have a 1,000 on base percentage for the game. Here's the pitch to Gagne, and that is a 7. That's an in play. He won't do it there though. 78 fly ball center field. Coming under it is Lofton. He will make that catch. 1 out. And Gagne gets laughed at a little bit inside the dugout, saying, "What? You couldn't get on base for a 5th straight time?" Gagne looked at him and said, "Shut up, guys. Let's just finish this game off." Here's Vince Coleman. Coleman is 0 for 5. Reached on a fielder's choice, but he's 0 for 5. 1 out. Here's the pitch to Coleman. That's a 10. Tough. 30, struck him out. And Coleman gets goes 0 for 6 with a K. And now the batter is Brian McCray. McCray is 3 for 5. He had a good night. Two singles and a double. Here's the pitch. And that is a 9. That's a tough 14. And that is a strikeout. And the inning is over. A 1-2-3 inning for Jose Mesa. Kind of something the Indians needed. So nothing there for the Royals. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Billy Brewer is going to be asked to close it. 9-4. Leading off for Cleveland will be Paul Sereno. Sereno's 0 for 3. Chance here for Kansas City to get a big win early on in this 3-game series against the Indians. Remember, tomorrow we have the Reds and the Expos. Great game at Olympic Stadium coming up. In the beginning, we're just starting the 1994 Pennant Race. Here's the pitch to Sereno. That is a 5. That's an in-play. 36. And that is a pop-up to first base. Coming under it will be Joyner. And he gets it 1 out. Royals pitching has done the job today. Kansas City, as I said, with the Royals. I am 3-1 with the Royals and 1-0 with Cleveland. 2 outs away from going 4-1 with Kansas City when playing them. Here's Alomar. Alomar is 1 for 3. The pitch from Brewer. That's a 10. That's a tough 24. Struck him out. 2 down. And the last chance for the Indians is Thome. Thome is 0 for 2 with a walk. Billy Brewer trying to get trying to finish the game off. Fans, not many fans here are left at Jacobs Field. A lot of them left. Down 9-4. You're pretty much done. Here's the pitch. That's an 8. That's a patient 54. The game is not over yet. Thome goes ahead and hits a base hit into left center field. He will hold it first. Not done yet, Thome says. That's his first hit of the game. And it will bring up Wayne Kirby. Thome, of course, not stealing. 2 outs. Billy Brewer can pitch until at least he allows a run. Here's the pitch to Kirby, or 2. It's a 9. That's a patient 51. That'll do it. That is a ground ball to third. That's picked up by Gaetti. He throws to second, and that will do it for the game. As the Royals get a big win in Cleveland, 9-4. And I'll give you the line score in 1 second. Final line score coming up. For Kansas City, 9 runs on 14 hits, no errors. For Cleveland, 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. David Cone gets the win. Denny Martinez does pick up the loss. There is no save in the ball game, and that will do it. As Kansas City will go to 73-61, Cleveland drops to 79-52. So now with the Royals, I am 4-1, and with Cleveland, 1-1. As I'm keeping track also. As I'm also keeping track also of how the teams do on when actually played, besides a 10-minute ticker. I want to thank everybody here for coming here to Jacobs Field, Bears Den, Bleacher Bums, Gaming, Baseball, Demo, Sports, Time Machine, Salvador, America, Tribe Fan, Bears Den 007, Tribe Fan. Let me get back here. Tenacious Strat, of course, and Tribe Fan 879. I want to thank you all for coming here. That's okay, Tenacious Strat. You know, I want to thank you all for coming here for watching today's game. If you could, if you've not left a like, please leave one on the way out of the stadium. And that will do it here. Tomorrow, we got the Cincinnati Reds and the Montreal Expos big-time National League game. As you know, as I keep on going back and forth between the leagues. Bleacher Bums Gaming was awesome. You're great. Baseball demos, a real honor for you to join me tonight. Thank you very much. And we'll see you guys soon. Final score here from Jacobs Field, 9-4 Royals. We'll see you tomorrow. Be safe, be smart, and be strong. Take care, everyone.